thought I'd make a special video talking about my reasons for buying this AE86 and my opinion so far about this car. I am not a drifter. I am not a guy that likes to take it to the track. I'm not. I like to go to track days. I like to watch, but I myself am not a participant yet. Maybe someday in the future I will participate in some of these events, but for now I am only a self-taught mechanic. I do basic stuff like most of you may know. That's the reason why this channel started, and I never talked about why I chose this car over another classic, and the reason is that, well, I consider myself to be a practical person. I like things that work. Not only they are nice, they are beautiful, but they work. When I was browsing around, there was a time in my life when I wanted something different. I work with computers. I am a software engineer, and I wanted something different. I wanted on weekends to work with something, you know. So that's why I decided to get myself a classic. And I did not know anything about mechanics, about oil changes. I didn't know anything, zero. And the first thing I did when I got this car was repair the gearbox. You may have noticed that my videos about repairing gearbox are really, well, they are really raw. Since then I believe I have improved a little bit with my videos, and now they are not a little less lengthy and a little less maybe boring, because at the time I was really learning myself, and this really started as a work log. Like I would film myself doing things, so that when I was putting things back together I would know exactly how they were. So I have seen some comments of people complaining that the videos are too long, too lengthy. Well, I agree with you. The videos may be boring, they may be lengthy, but well, that's another thing. Just to tell you that this started as a reason for me to learn mechanics. I really like mechanics. There was a time when I was doing my master's degree where I was thinking that I should quit the degree, the computers engineering degree, and go to a mechanics engineering degree when I was in my second year. Not freshman, the second year of university. But I finished the course, and I'm really happy where I am now. I'm getting a PhD on software engineering, on informatics engineering and information systems. So that's my life for you guys. So you see that if you are an engineer, you will always be an engineer. You're always tinkering with stuff. We all have a little bit of engineer inside us. So why did I buy this car? Like I said, I am a practical person. I like things that work. And this car, in spite of being a classic, and it's, in my opinion, it's a joy to look at. I like the lines, I like the design of the car. It reminds me of, reminds me of my childhood when I saw cars like this, and I really like them. So I got it. And the thing is, first thing, when you are looking for a classic, is it fuel injected? This car, despite being old, is fuel injected, which means that carburetors, which are the older technology, had some problems. When it is cold, they make the car difficult to start, for example, and fuel injection comes to solve all this. It will start up every time. If everything is correct, the car will start up every time, even when the environment is cold. I like a car that I can turn the key and it's ready to go if I keep it well. Second aspect, I got this car because I wanted to get into mechanics and save a little bit on the workshop bill. Before I got this car, I used to go to Toyota. I delivered my car there and they performed the regular maintenance. I have nothing to say about them. They are really good professionals. At least I never got any problem there. I paid and they did the job. They gave me what I wanted, which is peace of mind. They gave me peace of mind. That's why I paid Toyota. I have at the time I had one Toyota, the car that is now my daily driver, which is a 2.0 D4D diesel engine, and they did it always perfect. I never had any complaints. But the thing is, the bills are really high. I'm not saying that Toyota is more expensive than the others. I don't think so. It's just me that I wanted to pay less. So I decided to start doing things myself, and nothing better than a classic to learn mechanics. The AE86 is a really, well, despite being a simple car, it has no air conditioning, no power steering, it has a really simple engine, but it has all the amenities, all the basic amenities, like has a gauge for temperature, which may seem obvious, but many Toyota cars, many modern Toyota cars and others don't have a temperature gauge, only a light that turns on when it's always when the engine is already overheating, and I don't like that. I like a gauge to tell me when the engine is getting hotter, so that I can stop the car and call in the people from the insurance before the damage is done to the engine. It has an oil pressure gauge, which will tell you if there is any problem with the engine. Now we are going through a more difficult road with stones. It's made out of stone, and as you can see, my car is tuned to be soft. I don't have my car tuned with I have tunable suspension in this car. It has Kone shocks and Apex springs, but I have them tuned for the stock setting, which makes it not good for the track, okay, but it makes it for a comfortable ride. I have friends of mine telling me that this looks like a Toyota DX, which is the family car. But that's the way I like it. I like my car to be soft and comfortable, not to break my back. However, it may look to others, it may seem like a boat because it rocks too much for an AE86, maybe, I don't know. But it's comfortable. So like I was saying, has a rev meter, which is very good, and since it has fuel injection, it will warn you when something is wrong with the engine. That's always very, very good. It has intermittent wipers, which is with two speeds, and you may say, what's the big deal about this? Well, many cars of the time did not have this. The layout is very good. I can have heating or air blowing through these adjustable vents, which are very useful, very nice to use. Has a rear wiper, which always it's an amenity that many people are also very used to in new cars, but in a classic it's hard to find, and it's a usable car in everyday life. You can carry 4 people. You can it has a nice boot in the back. It has a digital clock, which is a trademark of Toyota cars, and I really like the digital clock. And the gearbox is really smooth. I have rebuilt my gearbox, as you know, and now the gearbox is very smooth and very precise. Maybe for track use it may not be the best alternatives. I've seen people adapt gearboxes from other cars, but for everyday use it's a really comfortable car, given the time, and given that this was an 80s Econobox. As speaking about economy, I can say that this car does not use any oil, given the use that I have that I give it. My car currently has 110,000 kilometers on the odometer, which is rather low mileage. It does not use any oil, like I was saying, but the engine has been already rebuilt. I have receipts for that. That's the reason why I bought this car. When buying for a classic, when looking for an AE86, my opinion is don't go buy the car because it's pretty or because it has low miles. Miles don't care about these cars. I can see that the car has 110,000 kilometers, but there is no way of telling if that's true or not. In a classic car, in a 25-year-old car, it's really likely that people have wound back the clock or manipulated in some way the mileage. Instead of looking for a low mileage, my opinion is look for the car with the highest stack of receipts. Because if you have receipts, you know that the car was well treated, well taken care of, oil changes on time, all this stuff was taken care of, and not only the exterior aspect, for example. When I see people going and buying the car because the car is really pretty, well, my opinion, I bought the car, the car that was not very ugly. My car has some scrapes, some dents all around, dings, has all this stuff that make it, the car needs to be repainted. But it came with a stack of receipts, so I know that the mechanics are good, at least better than other cars. The coolant fluid is clear, maintains the color, does not get rusty. In like 5 minutes after you replace the cooling fluid, if the cooling fluid becomes brown again, the engine is all dirty up and all full of rust. My car has some rust, of course, because back in the day they did not use antifreeze, but it seems like maintenance was well taken care of because it's not at that point. It will not dirty up the coolant. So like I was saying, buy the car with the highest stack of receipts and not the one that is most pretty or, you know. Also, having the car fill up with the bodywork all ugly up and all filled up with dings and these ugly people, all these stuff that people don't like, it's always, for me, it's a good sign. Because in a 25-year-old car, if you have small amounts of rust, if you have dings, if you have this problems around the bodywork, it's a signal that this car did not get into a very serious crash. Superficial rust is very good. Deep rust, like if the panels are really rusted up, it can be a sign, depending on the place, if it's around the wheel arches, for example, or between the mating surfaces, between the firewall, the two big lengths of iron that hold the engine, and in the back between the starting of the boot and the inside of the cabin, that's a place where usually people weld in sections of bodywork, because the car got into a crash and people got half of another car and welded it back in. It's not good. Get a car with just a little bit of rust all around, with a little bit of dings, with ugly paint. That's, for me, it's an excellent work, because you get to see the car before the car is painted up and made to look pretty, to put the price up. That's what you should look for. Also, the car, talking about economy, I did not finish about economy. Economy in this car is actually usable in everyday life. If you go around at 80 kilometers per hour, 100 kilometers per hour, well, I know many of you won't buy an AE86 to do this, but if you want, you can. You can make around 7.5 liters. 7.5 liters for 100 kilometers. If the engine is really properly tuned, you can go about your business. You can use this car as an everyday commuter. Just not do it too much, because in the city, if you always go to the city, the engine will spike and you will have a consumption of around 9 liters per 100 kilometers. And if you step on the gas, you can have a consumption of around 10-12 liters per 100 kilometers. So this engine is can be thirsty if you step on it, if you take it to the track, but if you cruise around softly, matching your revs without too much concern, you can have a 7 or 8 liters per 100 kilometers. The intervals, the oil change intervals for this car, I change the oil every 5,000 kilometers at most, but since I use this rarely, I cannot. I never make the 5,000 kilometers. I change it every year. Every year the oil and new filter, all genuine Toyota filters, and always the genuine Toyota filters, and the appropriate oil, which is a 10W40 for this engine, and you are good to go. You will have an engine that will last you a lot of time. These engines were really modern for the time, and even by today's standards, it's a really robust engine, provided that you don't redline it or take it to the track. But that's if you take it to the track, you have to be prepared for this sort of expenses. I will not talk about drifting, all this stuff. If you want to talk about drifting, you can have many more videos on the internet talking about this, and people who know much more about this. I don't know anything about drifting. I got this car for the reasons I have already told you. Another thing that I have to say is that this car is really easy to steal. The electrical installation is very accessible, so I recommend that you buy an anti-theft mechanism, such as this removable steering wheel with a lock. You can check out my videos talking about this, and with a full installation of the NRG quick release and the steering wheel. I bought myself a Momo steering wheel, but you can buy anything with a 6-bolt pattern. For you young guys who want to get a car like this for drifting, my honest opinion is there are cheaper alternatives, more fun alternatives. Well, arguably, because people, when it regards to fun, people have their own opinions. I don't want to get into that. Let's just say there are cheaper alternatives with parts available, because to get parts for this car it's really hard, because this bodywork is unique. If you break a headlight, if you break a bumper going around a hard turn or drifting, it can be very, very hard to get parts. The gearbox and the differential are really fragile, in my opinion. I think that when you look at BMW gearboxes or differentials, they are much more robust. They are bigger, more metal. More metal is good, because when you are straining the mechanical parts, the biggest, it will always last. And the AE86, it's a really it's not cheap anymore to maintain as a drift platform. In my opinion, I think that parts are really expensive for it. You go to Toyota, you buy BMW prices. Parts are good. I'm not saying that they're not good, but it can be really hard to support a car like this as a drift machine. So in my opinion, if you want more power, if you want, after all, the power is also very low in this car. Like the Japanese drift, they call him Drift King. He says that it's really hard to drift a car like this. That's why it's a good school. All right, but you have to take it into account that these videos were made when the parts were cheap, when there was widespread availability of these parts, and nowadays it's really, really hard to get them. Just go to the Toyota dealer or talk to people who know about these cars, and they will tell you that the parts for this car, a lot of them are discontinued. So when you take it to the track, when you go drifting, you break something, it's a pain. You can much cheaper alternative and with much more power is, for example, a BMW 325i, the E46. No, the E36 will make for a better drift platform, in my opinion, because it will last you much longer time, and it will also you will have access to new parts from the dealer, and not have to scavenge around for AE86 parts. The used car parts market for this car is really bad, because people tend to jack up the prices and ask for ridiculous prices for the most basic stuff. For example, I see in Portugal, in the market, I see gearboxes for these cars being sold for 600 euros, a simple set of headlights 400 euros. It's really very hard. When you buy a car like this, you are expecting to have cheap fun. It will not be the case. You will regret it. If you are a first timer, you have to know what you are getting into. If you are just a young boy or a girl trying to get an AE86 for first car after you get your license, don't take my advice, don't do it. You will sell the car after the first breakdown, and you will be very disappointed. This car is also very good because since it is it's very good for classic meets. If you want to get into that sort of scene, you want to meet people, you want to talk about mechanics, you like about this stuff, you want to learn about people's stories. I love to talk about other people I meet in the meets, Toyota, and not only Toyota meets, about cars and about mechanics and about each other's lives. If you want to get into these sort of things, meet a lot of interesting people, this is a very good car. It will not break the bank on the gas. It will allow you to cruise around on the highway comfortably, and this is important when traveling around for classic meets. You will not have the car always on the workshop. The car is at a boundary between the car that you can maintain yourself and the car that you have to take to the workshop. If the car is really old, it will be in the workshop all the time to tune carburetors, to tune, well, this small stuff that make the car unusable or use too much gas. With this car you can strike a balance. The car is easy to maintain, it's rather simple mechanics, retains some aspects like the tunable distributor, like a basic injection system without too much sensors, without too much detail or expensive, too expensive parts. They are not cheap, but they are not really expensive, like an Audi oil pump that I know that blew up, or there was a light turning on the panel, and my friend ended up spending around 5,000 euros to replace the oil pump. Ridiculous. I have German cars tend to be more complicated, but that's my opinion as an amateur mechanic. So my advice is, if you want to get this car as a drift machine, don't do it. If you want to, unless you are prepared to support the costs, of course, or you know about mechanics. If you are a first guy just out of driving school, this may not be the car for you. But if you want to get into car meets, if you want to learn mechanics, if you want to build the car yourself and be proud of it, I think that the AE86 may be a really good alternative for you. It will not let you down if you do not, if you keep maintaining it, if you keep basic oil changes, if you keep its reliability factor high. It's a Toyota. It will last a long time. This car does not have electric windows, but that can be a good thing, because after 25 years, which electric motors do you think will work on a car like this? It's really a matter of personal choice. For me, the less electrical stuff a car has around the interior. Engine is one thing, you have fuel injection, is worth it. It's worth to have fuel injection. But electric equipment inside the car can be really hard to maintain working every day. So this is my first video, my opinion about the AE86 as a classic car. If you have any more things you want to know about the car, if you want to have more, if you have comments to this video, if you have your own opinions, your reasons for buying an AE86, please post them down below, and I will maybe make another video addressing these issues and talking about my own opinions about your comments. So if you liked the video, don't forget to give me that thumbs up, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want to receive any more AE86 videos, repairs, and all this small stuff on my Toyotas. Till next time, take care.